Welcome back to Azzadous Studios. In this video we're going to take a look at mixing and what I think is the best way to do it. So what I've got here is the latest collaboration with Abercrombie Beats. I'll leave a link to his YouTube in the description if you want to go check him out. This track should be available. I think it'll be uploaded around the same time as this video, so keep an eye out for it. So what I usually do when I'm starting to mix is I'll turn all the volumes down on all the channels and I'll bring them up one by one. But what I've got here is I've consolidated all my channels to audio tracks. And in doing that, what I've done is I've consolidated the drums all down to one track, so the kick is actually on this same track. So what I'm going to do is quickly switch over to the other project where I've got all the MIDI files. Okay, so I've opened up the other project with all the MIDI files and the VSTs and stuff like that. What we're going to do is take a look at just the drums for this one. And I'm going to start off with the kick. I've turned all the volumes down. I'm just going to slowly bring the kick up. I'm going to switch over to the mixer. And I want the kick to be hitting around -10 dB. This is just my personal preference, but I find it's a good sort of level to get started with. -10.2, that's fine, -10.2. So now I'm going to move away from the mixer and I'm going to mix the rest of the drums by ear. I don't like to do it all in the mixer because I feel like I'm trying to look at levels more, and I'd rather do it by ear. If it sounds good, it is good. Sounds about right for the snare at the moment. Let's bring in the shaker. Now I don't want too much of this. I think you can overdo it. And the good thing about starting from all levels down is that you get a chance to hear what things sound like at a quieter level than you might actually turn them down to if you were starting with them all up. So it gives you a bit more reference to how far you can go down with the volume. If you start with them all at 0 dB and try to turn them down, it's a lot more difficult. Okay, so that's sounding okay. I'll quickly run through the panning. What I usually do with the snare is I'll knock it 5 to the right, or thereabouts, just to give it a bit more of its own space in the stereo field. Stuff like the top end. Hats, usually I'll knock it to a similar amount to the left as the snare. So for this one I've gone for 7. Again, just to give it a bit more space. This gyro that I've got, it's just an extra little bit of percussion. So what I've done is I've knocked that quite far to the left, and then my shaker again is more of a top loop sort of thing. So I've knocked that to the right to give it a sort of opposite effect to the gyro, you know, filling out this stereo field. Okay, so let's hop back over to the other project and have a look at mixing the rest of the track. Okay, so now we're back into the project with just the audio files. We've got the drums here, and we're going to just bring them up. I'm going to flip over to the mixer, and again, I want about -10 dB. That should be fine for now. We're going to move on to the bass. Now we don't want the bass to be panned at all, we just want it dead center. We're just bringing the volume up to a nice level so it sounds nice with the drums. Next up, we're going to bring this Rhodes in. Okay, that's sounding nice. What we're going to do with the Rhodes is pan it a little bit. So that sounds nice. We'll leave it there for now. I don't like to pan stuff too far left or right, especially things that are quite a big part of the track. Just try to give it a little bit more space. So next up, we're going to bring in this other piano. So this one wants to be quite subtle. And what we're going to do with that is just pan it the opposite way to the Rhodes. So I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to go a little bit more. Let's say about 20. Remember to check your volume again after you've panned it. Sometimes it sounds quite a bit more different volume. Okay, so in between this and the drop, we've got this little bit of a scratch. I'd usually leave FX till last, but we are pretty much through now, so we've just got this jazz lick at the top to do. We'll do that after this scratch. So I want the scratch to be quite predominant, but I don't want it too overpowering. That's sounding nice. So let's bring in this jazz lick. So I want this to be quite an important part of the track. I don't want it sitting in the background. But again, we don't want it too overpowering. So it's a little bit loud there when it comes in again over the beat. I'm going to drop it down a little bit. And what we could do is just automate the volume, or because these samples are separate, I could just drop the volume down a little bit on these ones. I'm going to just take it down about a dB. The same on this one. We can bring that intro back up again now. And we're going to give the jazz lick, the saxophone, a little bit of its own space again. Just going to play with the pan and see what sounds nice. I think this bass needs to come back up a bit, so we're going to have a little play with that. It's really easy to overdo bass. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today. In part 2, we're going to look at EQ and compression. If you liked the video, please like and share. Remember to subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future videos. Thanks for watching.